Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode. I have Sarah, the Sassy Stoner, in the building with me. How are
Hi,
you?
I'm great. Thank you. How are you?
Good. I am so glad that you are here to be with me today. I completely fell in love with you the first time that I saw you on TikTok. Your passion, your confidence, everything about you, I just totally love. And I'm so glad that you agreed to come on my podcast today.
Oh, thank you. I'm absolutely flattered that you thought of me. I really appreciate the invitation, and I really appreciate the fact that you are enjoying the TikToks.
Yeah, absolutely. So, the number one question I'm sure that, well, I know the answer to already because I know about you, but
Hmm.
that everyone wants to know, how did you get into makeup? Are you self-taught? How did this come about?
I am absolutely self-taught. Well, like most women, I started wearing makeup in junior high. Stumbled for many, many years and
Oh,
struggled
same.
for many, many, many years with makeup. And it was a couple of years ago. My daughter recently received a diagnosis of disability, and I became an in-home care provider to her, in addition to working my regular full-time job from home. So I had a lot on my plate, and I started to experience a lot of depression, and I just dove into makeup. And because that was something that I could enjoy without leaving the house, that was something I could start and take a break at, and go back to helping my daughter, if the need be. But yeah, I'm definitely self-taught, and it took a lot of practice. It still is a lot of practice. If you come to my lives, you'll see me mess up a lot.
I was on your one live that you were doing the one day, and you were, I guess, showing how you made like a certain TikTok video. And
Mhm.
there was so many things on there that I didn't even know that you could do, the way that you slow down your music and everything. I always
Mhm.
wondered how you did that, because your movements, the way that you sing the words to the song, like everything, it just comes together so perfectly.
Right, right. I do lives every Thursday. I do behind the scenes makeup to music. That's my thing. Everybody loves the makeup to music.
Love
And
it.
they think I got some sick flow and I got the moves, like I'm super quick with it. I really am not. I'm like the tortoise that wins the race, because just because I know how to utilize the tools. And so I like to do the behind the scenes so I can show other people how to do it because it's fun.
Yeah, no, it is super fun. And I was wondering what you did beforehand. I'm like, does she search the lyrics and memorize them? And then you were going in between each one, you were like, okay, they just said this. And then you were repeating it back. I thought that was so funny.
Yes, it's too hard. I mean, I have way too much on my plate to try and memorize all these lyrics. I really wish I had that type of memory, but I just don't. So especially on Thursdays when I'm doing my makeup to music, I have backup. The audience be like, no, she didn't say that. She said this. And then I'm like, can someone just search the lyrics already? Like, why are we not doing this?
You need them. I mean, with all the TikToks that you do with the music and everything, you need the lyrics.
Right. Well, most of the songs I'm familiar with because
Yeah.
I picked them. You know what I'm saying? I do take special requests from people because, I'm kind of running out of ideas, but
Hmm.
there's tons of music out there. I'll never run out. But I like to diversify like what I'm offering to the audience because originally I came out with like this hardcore rap, which is like what my daughter listens to. So I was like, yeah, let's go
That's
for it.
that's my kind of music, so I'm all for
Right.
it.
Right. I love it. I love it. And so like these people were attacking me and I was like, what better way to respond than not respond directly, but like via music and some badass makeup.
Okay, so funny that you brought that up, because that is one of my favorite things about you is your passive aggressiveness with sharing haters' comments to your videos. I love that. What made you start doing that, and why don't you reply to people?
I don't reply because it's really not worth my time.
For
My
sure.
mom taught me a long time ago that when you let somebody else control your emotions and your behavior, you're giving them the power. So I'm not giving them the power, and I'm not mad at any of them. I know some people, because actually quite a few of them have reached out to me and apologized, but I'm not mad at any
Oh,
of them. I really want them to be proud of their behavior. So if this is the behavior they're proud of, I want to showcase this to the world. I want their wives to know. I want their children. I want their pastor. I want their boss to know. This is how you speak to random
yeah.
people on the internet who are literally just trying to enjoy themselves, and people forget this is me entertaining them, you know.
Yeah.
It's a whole production. They forget that part of TikTok, you know.
And I think that's what I love about your behind the scenes makeup and music lives, because people don't realize how long TikToks actually take and what energy and effort and time that creators put into their TikToks. I mean, especially you're doing makeup, you're learning words, you're doing your hair, like it's so much.
Yeah, I just did a makeup to music on a different live platform last week, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be, I was like, I've kind of been like, you know, I've been trying to get things together behind the scenes as an influencer, so and maintain my current pace, you know, of taking care of my daughter and working and doing all that and maintaining the house, pets, everything that everybody else does, right? So I'm trying to get all that taken care of and still produce the content. So I was kind of being lazy. So the last week I was like, yes, I got to produce a banger. I was so excited. It was this song. It's called Wig by Todrick Hall. I don't know if you know who he is, but he's a phenomenal artist. I started following him way back in the day when he was on American Idol. And and anyway, the song, I heard the song, I was like, oh, it's meant for me. So I flipped the wigs. I literally put on like 50 wigs in the video. I love it. And my whole floor and bed was filled with wigs. And my daughter just walked in like, what are you doing?
Mama's like, TikToking.
Yeah, I'm like, she looked at me like, and then we have the funniest conversations that, like, you know, sometimes I'll be doing my makeup or my TikToks, and I'll be like, can you come in here? I'm lonely. Can you just come visit me? And she'll come in here and she's like, I would have never. She's like, Mom, your makeup was so horrible back in the day. I would have never thought we would be here.
Did you just learn everything just from practicing and like YouTubing stuff, or?
Literally, I probably have watched in my life 10 YouTube tutorials. Oh, you know, goodness. Like my daughter is a master at makeup. She used to be, before she became disabled, she was a beauty associate at Kohl's, and she was a YouTuber. I'm not a YouTuber, but a YouTube tutorial watcher, you know. And she would just come in, you know, I do my makeup and I'd be proud. And she'd come in, but like, Mom, no. And she like, try it this way. And, you know, I kind of equate it to math. I don't know if you have any children, but you know, the old school way of doing math. And now they have all these Common Core. And
oh my goodness.
The long story short is our techniques are different, but at the end of the day, we still get to the same, you know, destination. Yeah. So it's whatever you're comfortable with. That's why I tell my daughter, you know, thanks for showing me. And some of the stuff I pick up from her, some of the stuff I don't, you know, thanks for showing me, but it's not working for me. You know, you got to eat what you need to grow and let the garbage go. So
yeah. Oh, I love that. I love that. What does your daughter think about your TikTok fame?
I don't know. Honestly, I try not to like, she knows I'm so extra anyway. Okay. I'm just extra. Okay. She bought me this band. I honestly, she's a woman of few words. You know, she's not one that comes and be like, Mom, I'm so proud of you. That's just not in her. That's just not in her dynamic. So I don't expect that from her. But, you know, like for my birthday, she bought me this huge mirrored vanity that has Bluetooth speakers and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, and to me, that's like her gesture. And I'm like, why would she buy me this vanity? I had never even saw the vanity before. I never even hunched that I wanted a vanity or anything like that, you know? So to me, it's like, I felt like this was her gesture to me to say like, yeah, I'm proud of you. Keep it up. You know what I'm saying? She's
yeah, like, that's really sweet.
Yeah. So she hasn't directly told me, but I'm pretty sure she's proud of me.
She has to be proud of you. And I do have kids. I have 3 actually. And I have a daughter that just turned 9. And I have 2 other boys. So 2 boys and a girl. And my daughter, for myself, I'm a big girl. I've been a big girl my whole life. So body image and things like that were huge issues to me when I was younger. So I have kind of made it my mission raising my daughter to not ever speak on those things or act that way in front of her. I don't want to give her a complex. And I also show her that mommy's really confident and mommy goes after what she wants because I want her to be that way. And I think what you're doing, whether your daughter says it or not, I'm sure is so inspiring to her, just putting yourself out there.
Right. And I think that's always been my goal as a mom, you know, and that's aside from taking care of myself first, my number 2 priority is my daughter. I used to say my daughter is my number 1 priority, and some people might attack me for saying this. But I'm from the know-how that you cannot take care of anybody else unless you're taking care of yourself. So you should always make yourself and your mental health and your spiritual self and all that priority. But obviously, my number one non-self priority is taking care of my daughter. Will always be that. She's not only my daughter, she's my best friend. Like my ride or die.
Aww.
She changed my life. She changed my life for the better. Like, and I'm not like, I had a really rough childhood. And so, it's no secret to anyone. I'm glad we're still in May, so I can like kind of make this plug. It's Mental Health Awareness Month, but I've struggled with mental health challenges my whole life. And so early on in life, I didn't even know if I wanted to be around, you know? And it wasn't until I accidentally got pregnant with my daughter that I was like, okay, well, you know, you can't, you have to be around.
You have to now. Yeah.
You have to, you know, you have to be around. And so it's like, she really did like directly and indirectly change my life just by being here, you know? And I feel so blessed to have her, not just as a daughter, but as a best friend.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Me and my mom have a great relationship like that. And I'm only hoping that me and my daughter have the same relationship because nothing beats that. I mean, I'm a grown woman and my mom is still my best friend and nothing beats that because who cares for you more than your mom?
Period.
Yeah.
Period.
That's it.
And you know what? And she is. You guys are going to have that. You know why? Because the best way for you guys to create that relationship is for her to see you succeeding and striving to achieve the goals that you want as an individual, not just as a mom. When she sees you being you, you know, that's going to make her want to be closer to you. So
yeah, for sure. And that's kind of my whole message when I started this podcast was that you could be a mom, but you can still like have your life and you can still be a woman and out here doing what you want to do and chasing after your dreams, because it's really important that women know that.
Right. And I try to tell my daughter and my daughter's siblings, she has some half siblings. I try to tell them, I call my reverse stepchildren because they came after
cute.
her. So technically they're not my stepchildren, but they have lived with me. Their kids call me grandma. Like I'm very close to her sisters and blessed to have a relationship with them too. But I was telling them, you know, just because people can have children doesn't mean they're ready to have children. And just because they have children doesn't mean their life and all their other stuff they got going on and they want to have to go on stops, you know?
Yeah.
So I always try to remind them that parenting is a delicate, it's a tough, but it's a delicate dance we have to do.
Yeah. So I actually had my first child in high school. So I always had this like, almost like a resentment towards myself. Like you did this to yourself, you lost your adulthood. So you know, now he's almost 11. So I'm kind of in the process of like, you know, trying to find myself again and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But I kind of realized that that's all moms. All moms kind of go through that. Even if you have a child young, older, we kind of lose ourselves in motherhood, and having an outlet of sorts is important to kind of, you know, keep us above ground.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that I remember, you're right. Because I remember that when I first had my daughter, probably like the first 5 years of her life, I was like, I wore the same clothes. I didn't buy anything for I felt so guilty if I spent any money on myself. I was like, no, I'm her mom. Like all my money has to go towards her, you know? And then, you know, as she became a woman and I've learned a lot from her. I was going to say this. I'm sorry, I'm a little sidetracked, but I wanted to say this to you before I forget, because I have scatterbrain. I have a little bit of ADHD too.
Same, so, girl, same.
But I was going to tell you why I'm thinking of it. I was going to say, yeah, it was challenging to have children super young, like you. I had my daughter when I was 20, so a little bit older than you, but still, it was super young. It was very challenging, but let me tell you, as a 45-year-old woman whose daughter is about to be 25 this year, there's nothing better, because the relationship that you're building with your children, you're growing at the same time they're growing. They're seeing you struggle. They're seeing you succeed. And I'm telling you, it's the perfect recipe for a great relationship with them.
Mm-hmm. I'm so looking forward to the years when I can tell my kids, all right, see you later. You're old enough to stay home by yourselves. Mama's going out. Couple more years.
You know, I was really, you know, looking forward to that too. And it just when it started to happen is when my daughter became disabled. And it was like life slapped us in the face, you know. Mm-hmm. And it was probably like 6 months before COVID. And it was like instantly I had to start working from home so I can take care of her.
So everything was just changing for you guys.
Dramatically changed our lives. Yeah. And my daughter, you know, she's such a fighter. She puts on a good face for everybody, but she's sick every day. And she has a chronic illness. It's called gastroparesis.
Okay.
It means her stomach is paralyzed. It essentially doesn't move food. So food can get in there and go bad, and it causes her a lot of pain. It just doesn't, she throws it up. It's a mess. Anyway, long story short, she's sick every day of her life. She will be sick every day of her life. She has a pacemaker in her stomach just to help move food. But she puts on a strong face for it, and it's hard. So I was super excited. Like, yeah, she's 21. I'm about to live my life, And then it was like, no, you're not.
No.
I think God knew I was about to turn up a little too much.
Yeah. So he was turning you down.
He was like,
you're
no,
going to stay
child.
How did that affect your relationship with your daughter? You guys having to be home like that every day?
Our relationship has always been strong, specifically after my first divorce when she was 15. We just became super, super close. But once she started receiving medical diagnosis, because she has more than one, but once she started receiving medical diagnosis, I think she just really saw that, I wasn't going to go nowhere no matter what. And it's hard because sometimes, we're around each other 24/7. So it's like, I hear things I don't want to hear. She hears things she doesn't want to hear. And people look at us and people judge us. Like sometimes, like even my own family, they will judge us. Like, you guys are too relaxed around each other. And I say, no, we're not, because you need to understand that I'm her mom. I'm her caregiver. She's my boss because, I'm her caregiver, but she dictates, the care that she receives. She's a grown woman, and we're friends, and it just changed so much. So it made us closer, but it also presented some new obstacles for us.
Because it's more of a mother-daughter relationship than it was before. Yeah.
Right. And, it's just, sometimes we get on each other's nerves, and we're totally different. And I'm sure it's like that either with your mom or your daughter, if not both. That's how it is with my mom.
Oh yeah, definitely both. Me and my mom. Sorry, go ahead.
No, they're like, I know if I hate this, you'll love it. That's their approach.
Oh
so
yeah,
we're opposites.
Yeah, same.
So yeah, I mean, it's presented some challenges, and it's forced us to learn new ways to communicate, new ways to interact with each other. And I had to prove early on to her, and I had to tell her, like, when we argue, I still have to tell her, like, I'm mad at you right now, and I'm not going to be unmad at you till I process this in my own way. But still, I know you need me to take care of you, and I'm here to take care of you. And even though I'm mad at you, that doesn't mean I don't love you.
Yeah, that's important.
And so sometimes it's like, I'm quiet being her. And then I walk out. Okay, I love you. Talk to you later. So yeah. Our arguments are much shorter because we have to be around each other so much. And then it's hard to be like, it's hard to be excuse my language, but it's hard to be an asshole when somebody's in pain. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah,
for sure.
Like, I could be so mad at her. She could have did me dirty or disrespected me, like, kids do. And I could be so mad at her and say, I'm going to be mad at her for at least 3 hours. And then she'll get sick and she'll be crying because she's in so much pain. And I'm just like, okay, I can't be an asshole. God, you just.
Oh my goodness. That's literally me with all my children, dude.
I'm like, why don't you just let me be an asshole?
Yeah. Like, can you just let me be mad at you for a minute? I'll be back to it after this.
Or they do something really cute, right? Or really amazing.
Well, my youngest is 3, so like I can never stay mad at him for anything, even though he's at that age where he's like pushing every one of my buttons and like trying to get on my nerves. But he's like the cutest kid ever, so I can't stay mad at him for too long.
Oh yeah, and who would want to? Who would want to?
Definitely not.
Life is so short. Who wants to stay mad long? I mean, sometimes you want to because you want to prove a point.
Yeah,
well, at least if you're like me, I'm a little bit of petty.
What's your sign?
I'm an Aries.
Oh God, I'm a Sagittarius, so we're both fire.
Right. Yes.
Fire. Okay, so I just have to know if you could give advice to any young woman or mother who wants to put themselves out there in the way that you have on TikTok, just, you know, your whole self, and give everybody that look into their lives, but they're maybe hesitant, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to do it cautiously and to cope ahead, because with the abundance of compliments and friendships and love and everything that people have given me, like for instance, one video I'll say has like 18 million views. You know, I probably got 2 million likes on it. So it feels really good. Like 2 million people like that. That's so awesome. But then there's at least, you know, 200,000 people saying shitty things to you. So it's really easy to say ignore that. But it's really hard to ignore that because we are human. So I would say cope ahead, prepare yourself, you know, look at what other people are doing and look how at the type of responses they're getting and just prepare yourself. So like, okay, when somebody attacks me, this is how I'm going to respond, because if you're not prepared, odds are you're going to respond out of emotion, and that's probably not a place where you want to respond from. So one, cope ahead, and two, have fun. Have fun. At the end of the day, if they're not giving you 3 F's, they don't really matter. You know, if they're not feeding, financing, or you, then they don't matter. Right. They don't get to say what you're doing. And even if they're doing all 3 of those, they still don't get to say what I'm doing.
Don't. So. Period.
Yeah, just have fun. Just have fun and hold on loosely with it. And remember that TikTok is not, or any form of social media is not a online journal. It's really entertainment. So
yeah.
And I think once people start getting the likes and blowing up, it wasn't until I did that I really understood, oh, I'm a performer now. Yeah. That's why I'm a performer now, you know, I never thought I ever would be, but I'm having so much fun doing it. So have fun.
You look like you're having fun. I feel like that's the best part. Your energy like screams through the screen. I feel like you can tell you're enjoying it.
I absolutely am. I will be in the funkiest mood, and sometimes it'll take me 3 hours to pick the right song because my mood is like not where it should be. So I'm like, no, it's not. My mood is not right. This one's not right for my mood. And then I'd pick the right song, and then, you know, spend 3 hours doing makeup and jamming out to some music and feel amazing at the end of it. So, you know, it's free therapy for me. I love it.
I love that for you.
Thank you.
So tell everybody before we get off here where they can follow you on social media, and do you have anything coming up for us, or are you just focusing on your TikToks right now?
I have lots of things coming up. Okay. Ooh. So the easiest way to find me is to go to my website. That's sarahthesassystoner.com. And you can spell it either way. It's the right way is spelling it with an H at the end. That's Sarah. thesassystoner.com. There's links to all my social media on there. I'm pretty saturated in TikTok. I'm very happy over there. But I am trying to make an expansion over to Instagram and YouTube. I'm really working hard to get my YouTube up and running. So look for that.
Yeah.
And I have some new merch coming out. I have some great stuff, and I have some really awesome. Can I do a shout out? Would you mind?
Yes, please. No, go ahead.
I have some awesome people who have just stepped forward and volunteered to help me. Just people that know me and people that don't even know me, you know. So I just want to thank Darren, Sherry, Stephanie, William, DJ, my mom, and my daughter. So thank you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you for letting me do a shout out to them.
Oh yeah, of course. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. I had a great conversation with you.
Oh, me too. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, of course. And for everybody that's listening, I will talk to you guys next week.